Alright, I know I said that I was going to wait till the deals to open any more crystals, but the more I got to thinking about it, where all the crystals are chance, and some of the track milestones might be selectors, I want to be able to get all the randomness out of opening the crystals over with before we get to Tuesday when the deals drop. So this was my second batch that I got. I think I got 70 crystals worth opened here. Mostly because I wanted to see how many catalysts I had of each class before I get those selectors from the in-game milestones. Then I wanted to make sure I'd open any of the Gala crystals to potentially pull some of the champions that are in the box. That way, if we get the selectors come Tuesday, I either know who I still need to pull, because there'll probably be some keys involved, and then I can decide who I'm going to dupe. Obviously, I didn't pull anything yesterday opening over 100 crystals, so I guess we'll see how it goes. But those Tier 2 Celestial Alloys are really going to help out with Relic Prestige. Because we're the top 30 Prestige, most of us are getting to the point where we've ranked pretty much everyone currently. Anybody that pulled Lizard and Dracula has got them about SIG 200 now. So with this event, we're going to need to be upgrading Valkyrie and Jane Foster. And besides that, the only real difference in the top alliances as far as prestige is going is the relics. And where those relics are top 30, it's not really going to pay off to continue to upgrade battle casts. So we're going to have to be focusing on the stat cast, specifically the 7 stars, because a 7-star rank 2 SIG 20 is higher than a 6-star rank 5 battle cast that's at SIG 200, which is kind of crazy because the materials are somewhat similar. I think it takes like one more Tier 2 Celestial Alloy. And then the basics we can get in like the Alliance store for Glory and such. So anyways, but really happy with all the pulls, all the basics we've got. We've got 12 Tier 4 basic alloys. We've got some crazy amount of Tier 4 catalysts. I did some of the calculations as far as basic catalyst and class catalyst goes to take someone all the way from rank 1 to rank 4. And the biggest hindrance is going to be the Tier 6 class catalyst, because you need, I want to say the number was 15 that you need. Yeah, 15 Tier 6 class catalysts. You need 24 each of the Tier 6 basic and the Tier 3 alpha. And then obviously you just need the 3 Tier 7 basic, and then 7 Tier 4 alpha. So even though I've got a crazy amount of Tier 7 basic, I'm really not going to get the full value out of those immediately, because I'm going to have to slowly over time accumulate more of those supplementary catalysts that it takes to get them up to the point to get ranked up. Now, thankfully, I've got 3 1 to 2 gems and 2 to 3 gems, and I'm expecting more gems. I've got a 3 to 4 gem, and I'm probably going to save that for next year. 7 stars of the future. So if I can, I'll hold on to whatever I can as far as 7-star rank up mats go, including signature stones. Mostly because they're going to be more valuable the longer we progress in the game. They're probably going to continue throwing out top prestige champs. One of my predictions is that Blue Marvel, the science champ, is going to be top prestige, even though he's probably not going to be an absolute nuke. So, but I don't know. He could blow us away. I know people weren't expecting very much out of Okoye initially, and then she became one of the top skills in the game. So yeah, we've got a crazy amount of Titan shards. So I'm going to be set for the next, I think, probably 6 months worth of Titan rotations. Because I've already got pushing 400,000 shards, and I've got a couple Nexus and a couple regular crystals. But we'll take as many as we can get, because it's basically like the featured crystals for 6 stars. Yeah, those 7-star Nexuses, they're bittersweet. I mean, on one hand, there's plenty of people I still need in the basic 7-star pool. At the same time, 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be duping everybody. No first-time awakenings. So, I don't know. It's all right. I've really been enjoying these Jubilant crystals so far. I think the rewards are really all around worth it. I say that as I get another 7-star Nexus. But as far as the Catalyst goes, the Titans, and then the Tier 5 Alpha, I've gotten a lot more Tier 5 Alpha than I was expecting. I think I'm close to half of a formed Tier 5 Alpha already. So I'm thinking we might have a fully formed one by the time that we get all the way to the end of this Banquet event. Hey, there's some more. What do you know? And those are only about a 16% chance. So on any given one, you can only really expect to get them about once every 6 times, roughly. But, we've been pulling them a lot more often than that. There's only a 4% chance to get the different selectors, whether it's the Glorious Guardians or the Omega Days or the Rebirth or the Heart of Fire. So I'm probably going to expect to get those before I get myself another key. Obviously, we got a key coming up in the Realm milestones, so that'll be great. I still think for not much more of a chance to get a Tier 7 Basic or the Tier 5 Alpha is roughly the same percentage to get a 7-star Nexus. I've been getting a crazy amount of 7-star Nexus, not proportionate to the chances that I'm reading right here. And then we're still waiting on a first appearance crystal, which I'm hoping to get either tomorrow or on Tuesday. And then I'm not really looking forward to a 7-star Punisher. I'm thinking they might have those in the milestones in the web store. But, at the same time, it's not a champ I'm chasing. Unless he's ranked like crazy, he's not going to do crazy damage, especially if you're either bleed resistant or bleed immune. Then you could take those specials into block all day if you have a high enough block proficiency. I bet even someone like Photon, who has a class disadvantage, will do just fine. Haven't gotten any more 7-star relics out of these Jubilant crystals, and that's a little disappointing because, relic prestige is something I'm needing to focus on a little bit more. We don't have any 6 stones yet for any of the 7-star relics except for the egg relic for Venom the Duck, and all those 200 SIGs were given to us, so those really don't count. So as far as getting relic prestige up, duplications are going to be the biggest thing until we start getting SIGs for them. And I don't think I got a full crystal for an Awakening Gem yet, no, unfortunately. And I think I'm going to go ahead and open these, just because, like I said, there's enough champs that I'm missing out of the base pool. Yeah, but then right there you see all we're getting is duplications and not even first-time dupes. So, I forget who I'm still chasing. I know for sure I need to dupe Tigra still. As far as all of the selectors, already selected Coal Obsidian and... Actually, let me check on that real quick. Yeah, so I don't own Dr. Voodoo, and I still need to duplicate Black Panther Civil War and Sentry out of the Glorious Guardians. I need to dupe Omega Red out of the Omega Days. That's so funny. I was talking about Dr. Voodoo and I just pulled him. So now I need to dupe Voodoo and Night Thrasher out of the Rebirth group. And then from the Heart of Fire, like I said, Tigra, and then also Apocalypse. So this was in the evening, I believe, and I wanted to go ahead and get about 35,000. Yeah, I wanted to get about 100 crystals going again, because I wasn't necessarily happy with those pulls, especially out of the gala crystals. Didn't get anybody, and that's something I'm really going to need, is to try to get someone out of a box. That way I can save on awakening gems, because those are going to be even more valuable, as they're going to be increasingly rare. So just some quick numbers. If we're getting a 4% chance of getting a selector, actually let me look at those gala crystal drops. What is it, like a 0.7%? I can't find them. Either way, regardless, the biggest thing is these jubilant crystals. If I'm expecting to get any of these selectors, it's going to be about once every 25 crystals that we're going to get one. So here we are. We're just popping crystals like crazy. Those throwing breaker relics really came in clutch and assisting to get me the 7-star duplications for signature stones that I needed. Obviously the tier 2 celestial alloys, and then the awakening gem shards. Those are really the biggest ticket items. I've been enjoying these crystals. They're much better rewards as far as them giving 5 different individual prizes instead of what they have in the past. I think the last time I really pushed Banquet hard was right around the time that rank 5s were coming out, and I placed 13th in that event and got a generic 4 to 5 gem. And I think the top 60 got like a crystal for a 4 to 5 gem. And then the top 30 got a generic 4 to 5 gem. So that's been awesome. And then we're right back full circle. That same Black Friday that they had 6-star 4 to 5 is when Hulkling came out. And everybody was pushing for him. And I remember taking him up all the way to rank 4 as a 6-star that year and thinking that was the greatest thing ever. And now we're right back here with 7-star rank 5s on the verge. And then Hulkling is coming out as a 7-star. So I just think that that's a fun coincidence. I think that was 3 years ago, and I took 2 years without pushing crazy in Banquet. For one reason or another. I'm really glad I didn't push last year, because that was, in my opinion, a bust in light of this year. And how much better the rewards are, especially the ranked rewards. So you know the drill. We're going to go ahead and spin one, and then we'll pop the rest. Just the sheer volume of 5 stars in these crystals is funny. And they're really just playing the role of fillers. I forget who I get here. I want to say it was Gentle. Yep, right on the money. Alright, so let's just pop these and see what we got. I've been popping these, and then I'll see a new champ, and then I'll be, super excited. I'll scroll over, and it'll be a 5 or a 6-star, like a Lizard or a Pavita or a Dracula. But this time, I actually got X23, which is crazy, because that's one of the ones I didn't have in the box. So that's someone I don't need to worry about duplicating, assuming that we get enough keys to max the box. So I can save some of those awakening gems. What I would really enjoy is to get Hulkling, either in a crystal or out of a second box, or even a selector. And the reason being that I don't have a Cosmic Awakening gem, so right now the only option is a generic to be able to duplicate him and get some SIGs into him. And I really am not looking forward to that. That would be rough, because I'm really wanting to save the generics for the New Year champs, specifically Blue Marvel and Pixie and J. Jonah Jameson. They look exciting. So there we get Frankencastle as the only other, I believe, 7-star in this group, which is fine. You know, you can't have too high hopes whenever you're opening a crystal that's mostly 5 stars, and you only got like a 1% chance of getting a 7-star, and we got 2 of them in 34 crystals, so that's dope. Yeah, so as far as X23 goes, it's between her, Thor, Jane Foster, and Scorpion are the 3 I still don't have out of the box. We're going to get another key. And I think I also haven't pulled Valkyrie out of the box either. I forget. I know I've got Nimrod and Hulkling. And the guys in my alliance convinced me that Nimrod is worth it. Not just being a defender, but still being able to take a lot of the mutant champs. Like, I saw some gameplay where he was able to take Captain Britain and still have a decent amount of health left over. I think he was over 80%. And if it's fast enough, you know, that's enough to win a Battlegrounds match, especially in the Power Sting era. Of course, that resets the day after tomorrow, I believe, on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens to that. Y'all have to let me know what you think of these Jubilant Crystals. I've been enjoying them. I think the drop rates have been a little finicky, and what they've been showing on the posters isn't really what's reflecting. However, if I do the math here, we've got 51% that you're going to get either 7-star Nexus, some Tier 5 Alpha, or Tier 7 Basic. So that's about right. And then you add on the remaining, where you get the 6 stones that are +5, and then the 20,000 Titan shards. You're up to 70, close to 73%. So then you only have 27% to get anything better than that as far as an Awakening Gem or your 7-star Relics or your Titan Nexus, and then the 2 different selectors in the first appearance, the Key and the Punisher. So now that I think about it, you know, the drop rates are pretty accurate, because that's about what I've been getting. I'm still waiting on those Relics though, because so far I've pulled the 1% selector for the Trophy Champs, and we got Jessica Jones, and then the 4% chance of a selector where we got Call Obsidian, and both of those are lower than the Relics chance, which is 5%. And then obviously a key would be great as well. The more the merrier. And let's see. Obviously, Awakening Gems would be nice too. Nah, man. You know what? We'll take that. I'll take a Nexus any day. Nexus any crystals are always fun. They don't give as much randomness because you still have a choice and you get multiple different options. So it's not like in the old days when they didn't even show the signature levels or whether or not you duplicated them. I remember they didn't even do that for relics. And you kind of just had to know which relics you had and what prestige levels you wanted them at. Right there, we roll over a first appearance crystal, so that was a little rough. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there that if you would like to comment a champion that you want me to take to rank 4, you'll have to let me know. I'll try to somehow get my roster on screen sometime so you can know which ones are at the different ranks and rarities that I have. But I've got a crazy amount of rank 4s that I'm wanting to start incorporating some champions that I wouldn't use otherwise. I remember I was behind the curve on 6-star Kate Bishop when everybody was using her for Necropolis, and I was still sold on Aegon as being the better for that challenge. And it was alright, but then the Karinas for that came out, and I got a chance to use Serpent and Absorbing Man and Wong And a lot of these other champions that I didn't realize ramped as good as they did because we're always using them in a battlegrounds or a story quest where your fights are over in at most 3 or 4 minutes. Some of those are faster than 2 or even a single minute. So feel free to let me know who you want me to rank, because as you can see, I'm still pulling crazy amounts of Tier 7 basics. Yeah. And then also feel free to let me know who you guys are pulling. I know some of y'all let me know in the Line app. And then obviously my alliance mates in game have been posting some crazy stuff. I'm jealous of the people that already have Scorpion duplicated out of the box and then a crystal. I still really enjoy Lizard. I think that Lizard and Scorpion do similar things. They've got their differences and different utilities. But that Petrify to reverse and steal regeneration that Scorpion has is just invaluable. And it's something that only Count Nefaria can top at this point. So you know the drill. We got to open the 7-star Nexus now, and we'll see who we get. Alright, let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it. And no one knew. Who would have thought? So my philosophy used to be that I would always pick the highest sig or even the max sig to try to double up on shards for the next rarity. But what's going to be building my total base hero rating better is picking the lower sigs and raising them up. So now whenever I use signature stones for 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, I'll scroll all the way to the bottom and add them to the people that are at the lowest. And I'm at 12 million now, so I'm pretty sure whatever I'm doing is working, and I'm fine with it. Yep. I never would have thought that just 4 years after I couldn't even reach 1 million, that I'd be at 12 million and 36,000 prestige. It's awesome. But I guess that's what happens when you enjoy whaling events. I'd like to think I'm a fairly calculated whale, and that I don't just go blowing things like last year's Banquet, because that was pretty rough, that's for sure. But as you can see, I've got close to 450 for those signature stone crystals, so those are going to be great because I think the limit for those is 125. So then, we're assessing all these. The cosmic is what I really want to be able to take the Venom the Duck 6-star relic, because that's really the only 6-star relic that's worth investing into rank 5. And I've got the materials except for the class alloys. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. Hopefully I can get enough to rank him up soon. I've got 2 generics, 2 science, 2 mystics, a tech, and a skill. So we were able to get X23, so where we'll get a box key that'll duplicate her and we can not have to worry about a generic, because as you can see, we don't have a mutant. I also got a crazy amount of these. I think that's 400 sigs worth of plus 5s. If you do the math, 80 times 5. I've got 3 1 to 2 gems, 2 to 3 gems, and a 3 to 4 gem. And I'm expecting another 3 to 4 gem out of the realm milestones, and we'll see what happens later. So yeah, this is the state of the new champs that I've pulled so far. Yeah, take care.